actually, before I do the whole intro, G, I have this written down because I feel like every time I have you on the show, it's just a bar that just catches me the fuck off guard.
Bet.
On mamas, they treat a nigga like he know Wallace. That's notorious. That bar is freaking ridiculous.
Yeah.
We gonna dive into Don't Move Too Fast because the bars on that are ridiculous.
Yeah.
But before we do, man, hello and welcome to another episode of the Miseducation of Music. You are here with J-Treb. We got a special guest in the building, Cassius Tae, man, friend of the pod.
Hey, man, it's crazy. I'm so glad to, first I want to say what up to everybody listening, watching, tuning in. Thank you for having me on.
Man, this is the third time. Thank you for coming on, G.
I'm glad that we could do this without, pandemic, being like miles away, Zoom calls,
For real.
So it's like, it's cool to get in person and finally do it. It's going to be a different energy, different vibe. Got something to talk about, got a tape out.
Exactly. There's so much going on, and that's so dope.
Exactly.
Last time we talked, you were on the Creatives in Quarantine episode.
Yep.
And those episodes were special to me because I love just talking to people and getting in their minds when they were in quarantine. Because like when you are a person who loves to create things and loves to collaborate, being in the house is like almost the worst thing in the world.
It is.
Because you're just stuck with only your side of the creation, but you want to like collaborate and do other things. And you talked about that last time you were on. You were like, man, I want to be back outside doing shows, seeing people. How has it been now that we a little bit more outside? You had the video shoots. You got some other stuff going on. How's it been?
Honestly, before the pandemic, I was doing probably like 3 or 4 shows a week, and I think like I was working
crazy,
and then I record like all of my music in Detroit. So I would be in Chicago, but then I would take a train to Detroit, stay out there for like 2 or 3 months, and then just record music. Right? So
you had a whole little thing going on.
Exactly.
It was just a schedule.
But it's crazy since the world kind of opened back up. You would think I'd be on the same type of time, but like now I it's like a quality over quantity. So like I'll probably do like 1 or 2 a month, but like the show that I'll do, it'll be like packed. It'll be like
it's like let's get everybody people in there for this one.
Thank you. And then it's like, okay, let's see what I could do next. And it's like, okay, instead of shooting all these videos at once where I need a bunch of people, it's like, well, let's just shoot like 2 where I need a bunch of people, and then we could do the rest. And that way everybody can come out, and it's not as much of a effort to continuously get people, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you're not trying to always, like, hey, come out to this, come out to this, come out to this.
Exactly.
It's like, no, let's ease back into it.
Yeah.
Now, I kind of want to talk about that a little bit because you're talking about this easing back into creation. I was actually with you on this Wave Runner shoot. It was so crazy to see how many people you brought out and how many different creatives.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is that collaboration he was talking about.
Yeah, nah, for real.
It was that let's get everybody out here. Now, like, even during the pandemic, you were still shooting some videos. So let's backtrack and talk about those real quick. You haven't been on since you did a feature with Leger, I believe it was.
Yeah. Me and Leger did a feature, the
you
blind
did that
feature.
one?
Yep.
And then on top of that,
wasn't a pandemic. Yeah, it was. Yep.
On top of that, you also had the Scoop track, which was for the project. Is it an EP or is it?
I say. I let people say EP and I come to terms to say EP, but it's the EP. Let's say EP.
I kind of like to call everybody's a project before
I'm gonna say why I say it's
a
a project, but it's the EP.
Okay, cool. Yeah. I got you. But so that song was for the project that was coming up. Yeah. And then on top of that, you had the Lemon Pepper Freestyle, which one of my favorites.
Man,
like I run that more than the Drake one. The Drake was out of my playlist.
I get that
it's out of my playlist.
Yeah.
You did something different. Like, and it was hearing you play to the beat that made it crazy. Yeah. But how was all of that creation in the pandemic?
Honestly,
that had to be a lot.
Honestly, look, I think being in the pandemic with me not having shows, I think it allowed me to make the type of music that I wanted to make. Not saying I didn't want to make music that's like supposed to be for shows that you don't perform.
But you were kind of making the music that you could listen to
in the crib. Thank you. Things that like everybody is thinking about.
That's an interesting flip, man.
Thank you. And it's like, I'm on Twitter, so I'm seeing everybody's thoughts. I'm on Instagram watching stories all day. I'm seeing everybody's thoughts.
So like you're looking at what songs people are tagging up with their at-home pictures. You're seeing what people's playlists look like when they're in the house all day.
And I know I'm relating to the things that's being said. So it's like, well,
and that, man,
who better but me than to write about it?
Relatability. Let's just die. We tap dancing around it. I was going to talk about a few topics before, but let's just get into Alone in Blue Hour because the relatability is really what gets me. Like, this project's insane, and talking about it purely from, just to start off, your promotional standpoint.
Yeah, thank you.
You are the coldest promotional rapper out. Like, bro, I've not seen rollouts on the level
yeah.
of what yours are.
Thank you. I appreciate
like,
that.
I mean, and I'm talking about like, and since we're on YouTube, I'm gonna show them the screen. Like, you have to see your Instagram aesthetic and how it changes. I've been diving in, talking with my homie Austin about social media and like how people run it, and just seeing you is like that all working out in the blueprint.
Nah, it
to
is.
see the fears may come, and then to see the color switch on your profile, to bring in that blue hour, to then lead up to the album. How was this thought process? What did you do to get all of that in tune? Did somebody like specifically teach you this? Is this just how you always wanted to see like music rolled out or something?
I think honestly, so like I have like people who are close to me know this. I have a wave where I'm like in love with a color. I don't know what it is.
I can tell.
But
I mean,
just
look, you've never said that before,
you know
but it's like,
saying?
Look, the shirt I have on, this was a whole wave, and then the shirt you're wearing is the wave of exactly what the music sounds like too.
And I think like I was always into like color therapy and seeing how like you can heal people through like colors of lights, and then also I understand like when I hear music I see colors, so I know like color has a big impact on how I feel. So
Definitely.
I think that whenever I know what I'm feeling, like I had a crazy yellow wave and it just ended, and I don't know what happened. I guess being in the house quarantine,
it was just like, let's switch it up.
Blue,
blue.
you know, blue. It was like,
and it was crazy because I mean, I don't know if people notice all the things like the subtle details. Like I noticed that like right when you were changing from that yellow to that blue, you kept the yellow hat, but the blue on the profile. Like those little subtle details in the promotion before we got to the music. Because that was like the first time you had ever announced this Alone in Blue Hour that Scared Love was coming out. And that track, man, I was running it.
I appreciate that.
Track,
yeah, speaking of like the details of the color, it's always like me and my brother, we go back and forth on like how can we make things pop. Like me and my brother, we sit in the house a lot, and we always like he takes all my pictures and directs my videos.
Hell yeah, man! Shout out to Juwan the director.
Yep. Shout out Juwan the director. And we be in separate rooms and like the same things. I don't know how.
And it's like, how are we on the same wave?
So it's like, okay, let's do it. And then so I was already studying Blue Hour, and he was too. So.
Which is insane because it's more of a photography, videography term, and you used it
to make it more musical.
And I was like, how does it still hold up so well?
Yeah,
like it holds up so well to the same premise. And I mean, for you to even say that you and your brother were having this like similar thought is crazy because he works with cameras and things, so it makes more sense
all the time. And so,
for him to be in this Blue Hour mindset.
And so by me going to college in more like I had like a lot of production classes, so I learned the same things that he knows. He just has an artistic eye. I have a more technical understanding of it. So like I can have a conversation with him, and then I could also, I'm artistic in my own way. Yeah. So I'll know.
They translate to different spectrums, but it's all from the same knowledge.
So I'll know if I want to do everything blue now, and I got a couple things yellow, let me throw on this tan jacket and then this yellow hat, and then
it all just starts going together
to fade it up, you know, because I look at things like a gradient. You know?
I didn't even understand how deep Instagram or just like playing into people visually is.
That's all it is.
And that's the thing, because I mean, like for you to use it and manipulate that system so well, but then have this music to back it up. Yeah. Like let's dive into this music a little bit, because you started off with that Wave Runner joint. Right. And that's the one we were on the shoot for. And with Gold Haze, he's screaming on the intro. It's got that big DJ Khaled 06 energy. Listen. And it feels like we about to get some money to this song.
Listen. That's what I was going for. It's crazy. He sent it to me, man. He sent it to me like a week before the lockdown. And when
so that was pandemic bars through and through. Like that was real. I
knew when he sent it to me. He sent me probably like 3 or 4 beats. I think like 2 of them Flex ended up using for like his project. I ain't get to him quick enough. But the Wave Runner one, I kept texting him like, "Don't get this to nobody.
This has to be mine. I ain't got nothing yet, but this is mine."
Yeah, exactly. And I just remember having like mumbles to it, and I sat on it after a while because of the pandemic, you know, and it just like crushed me. So I got that in March. I would say probably by July is when I started writing majority of what Alone in Blue Hour is. But it wasn't Alone in Blue Hour though. I was just writing songs, you know?
So that's what I'm saying. So like the Scoop track, so is that from that time period?
So Scoop is when I decided I'm gonna make an EP because that's why I say it's more of a project and not an EP, because I didn't create this music with the intention of making an EP. It was just like one day I was just like,
I have enough tracks that go together. Like because I'm
feeling a certain way, you know what I'm saying? Dealing with being in the crib, different like anxieties of like, okay, like I just lost a year of life. Am I do I still have time to be enough in life? And then to be like, okay, well, I'm going through like a breakup, but then transitioning into like new people, but then losing people outside of my life. Like I'm
exactly, and it's all just happening at the same time while you still have this on your mind of I lost this year, but I still got. And oh man, it makes the music speak so much more.
So everything I was writing, I was like, as long as I got the soundtrack to it without the words, I know it's the songs for me, you know?
Exactly.
So I was getting a lot of beats during the pandemic, but it was only like a couple of them that was speaking to how I was feeling. Everything else felt like outside beats.
Exactly.
You know?
And I mean, you said you were writing from that space of what you wanted to create, so you really got to be in that mindset.
And that's how that was. And I think by the time I did Scoop I did like in December. And I just remember, like, where I recorded in Detroit is like in a high rise. It's just all windows.
You can see everything.
Thank you. I could see like the river in Canada, and it's snowing.
Damn. Okay, so you had the whole little energy with it.
It felt like Gotham City, really. That was kind of the vibes when the beat was playing. So I was thinking. I mean,
it makes sense for that intense energy, and then the video on top of it. Man, come on.
So Scoop,
he's going crazy with it.
When I made Scoop, that's how I was feeling. Like not Batman, but Bruce Wayne. In my mind, I'm trying to figure out. Now that I have this project, I know with me and based on the things I like to hear from myself, there are just certain responsibilities in music that I'm gonna have for myself.
100%, and I agree with that on such a high level. I think that there's a responsibility that everyone has when you say you're gonna be a rapper.
Certain things you have to do, and I know one of my things is I have to make like a song either for women or a song for the nighttime or both. And Scoop, honestly, how I made it, my engineer Tebow was making a beat, and my homie J-Treb, he produces a lot for me too. He laid the bass, and I just started freestyling to it.
And it was just over.
I freestyled for 7 minutes, and then he just cut what he liked and was like, "This is the song." Like Scoop, if I hit your line, can I scoop? That was just like randomly in the freestyle.
But it hits though.
But I left that idea, and I don't know how he was like, "Oh, that's the hook," and I'm like, "Really?" And then we started playing it with. I'm like, "Yeah." That shit is hard, you know what I'm saying?
That collaborative aspect of music right there, where you're like, I wouldn't even put that as that. Yep. That was just some freestyle shit, but then it started hitting and it starts feeling. Yeah. Now, I don't want to get too far away from you just said about your responsibility to music and how you're saying that your music is like for the ladies or it either has a night vibe. Mm-hmm. Why do you feel you have that? Like, what's the thing that kind of kicked that off? Was there people you saw, or was it like an energy you just knew you could channel?
I feel like it was like, I feel like I have several responsibilities in my music. You know, one of them is always talking about like my block experiences related to people who outside. That's always going to be there. And I think like talking to women, because that all went hand to hand. Like my how I started writing was based on the
pieces of your personality.
Yep, and based on the day and the night of my block. So like the day is like wild shit happening all the time. The night is like, okay, it's kind of settling down. If you want to slide on us, you can, you know what I'm saying? So it's all natural. Man. It's just like going through different phases of life. It's like, okay, taking that shit to college. It's like, okay, the beginning of the day is wild as fucking class, but at night, you might find yourself at like a bar or a party or a kickback. You know what I'm saying? It's just the same shit. It's just like different phases in my life. So when it comes to like having like female related songs, it's like when I went to school, or even when I was going to parties in high school, it's just like niggas know you was a rapper. And it's just like when you have women hear shit like that, if you're not killing niggas on your song, then you have to be rapping for the women.
Exactly. Because
so
I mean,
that's part of the responsibility. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, especially when you're building who you are as a rapper, like it seems like you grabbed the puzzle pieces that fit to create the picture you wanted to.
Yep. And it has to be real. Awesome. You know, it's like, man, it's like being a rapper is like, I could kind of decide what I want to say and what I want to do, because I have so many parts of my life. Mm-hmm. It's just like, what sounds the most interesting on song? You know what I'm saying?
I feel that. You're trying to see what you can paint a picture with.
And then I also think, if I didn't, like, I want to be the artist for myself that I needed when I was like 8, 9, 10. Like, damn, I wish it was a rapper like this.
I wish somebody was hitting these bars. I wish somebody was doing this thing.
Yeah, and I think that's why I write the way I write. I think that's probably why, like, people compare me to certain rappers in a way, not because of
it's because of the feeling you get.
It's the feeling, it's the relatability, it's the I'm not rapping just to like, I could outbar a lot of niggas, but you know what? Like,
but that's not always the purpose.
It's not the purpose.
The purpose is sometimes to create that energy, to create that vibe, to give somebody something they could live with. And that's live with and live through. Like
live through instead of just like, I'm just rapping just to show I can rap. Like,
music has to have a deeper aspect so it can create something from it. So that somebody else can grab something out of what you created, man. Now, let's dive back to the project, to this don't move too fast.
Yeah.
I already said it at the beginning. My favorite bars on the project are on here. And this is that flip side of what you were speaking on. You got your ladies tracks, and then this is, I feel that more.
I made songs for niggas too.
Trying to tell you my life real quick.
Yes.
And what was the process of picking the track that you bar down? I feel like that's something I always want to ask a rapper. I'm glad I got a rapper here when I got the question in my head.
Yeah.
How do you pick the track where you go, this is the one I'm about to just eat on?
See, I always tell Tebow, like, whatever you make for me, just give me space. Like, I'm a master at picking beats with space. Let me do what I want. I don't like beats that have a lot in it. If you listen to Lone and Blue Hours, very minimal sounds. Like, it's probably like
yeah, I mean, even on like the scoop, it's just really like synth, a couple drums.
Thank you.
Like
it's
that's
minimal. Let me shine, because the pocket that I rap in is already different. Some people rap on beat, I rap a step behind the beat. I just always
it makes the diction hit harder in my opinion. So,
when
you pronounce the word, it makes your word hit harder. But I mean, people don't notice that all the time.
They
but
don't.
Like
they just think like, why is this nigga so good at rapping?
And that's one of the things. Like Diddy is somebody who I enjoy to give as an example, because I'm like, it almost doesn't even matter what Diddy was about to say, because it's gonna hit on the word
because of where he chooses to land the bar
every time. Like the who's hot, who's not, like those come in on that just end of the beat right there.
And I think that makes it feel like, oh, this nigga snapping.
So is that the process of picking that bar down track? Like
where you can
fit that flow.
Where's the
right in
wherever
there?
I can do that shit on the most minimal beat with the least amount of things going on. Like if you listen to Don't Move Too Fast, it's literally just a sample and
bass. So simple. It's
the
simple,
most simple,
man.
and we just layered the snares.
But that's the thing. You don't have to do much when your bars are speaking on a track like that. Like what's the mental on the pen here? Like what's when you get this beat and you know you about to just eat on it, like how do you write that bar that like on mamas they treat niggas like they know, like come on man, like how do you pin that? Like I feel like I can't imagine it.
It comes from, a lot of it be like how I feel in life more so than, because the other thing I tell Tebow a lot too is like, I just need something I can talk on. Like if you listen to like how I first entered the beat, like I never seen value in having those around who will do shit for you. I do enough for myself, and that shit is true. I could say that without rhythm and conversation. It's like, I was never really on beat.
You slid on that joint. It was almost like, oh, he was here the whole time.
Yeah,
like,
exactly. And
he was on the beat before we got like.
Thank you.
Oh man,
it's some shit you listen to like who starts songs like that? You know what I'm saying? Not necessarily what I'm saying, but like how I just.
It's almost like we walked in on a conversation he was having.
Yep. I don't know. I always want shit where it feel like I'm walking on water when I'm rapping. You know
like
I'm
doing something that's so amazing. Other people are just, you have to be astounded by it.
Yeah, you have to.
And that's how I feel personally. Your music has that effect when it comes to these similes and these metaphors. You have bars that quite literally make me run the track back. I'm like, I have to run the last 30 seconds back to figure out if I understood that right. Like the first time you ever came through with a bar that I heard like that was the 12:30, 12:24 bar on Home for the Summer. Man, I gave you a props for that bar the first time I ever talked to you, because I was just like, I'd never had a bar that made me literally go, wait, hold on, I don't think I got that.
Right.
Like, I don't think I received that bar right. Did he just relate the clock to different months and then loop it all back to how he was just trying to send a text message real quick?
Exactly.
And that's so insane to be able to do that. Like, is that something?
And that's some block
practice?
shit too.
Yeah, I was about to say.
That's like Home for the Summer is a perfect example of my approach to music. Yeah, it's like the block.
I turn that on and it is the cookout music.
Thank you. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then the back half of it when I'm talking about violence being outside.
Well, ain't no living no fairy tale.
You know what I'm saying? Like a fairy. We trying to sell, like, bro, like, damn, you know the bar is better than me.
I don't think anything of it. I really love music to a different line. Like I was thinking
if I
hear music, I literally I remember the bars since I was a kid. Like
I think, man, like, you know, honestly, what got me start rapping about my block more, when I went to college, just missing my niggas. just want them to feel like, man, this is something I sent for y'all niggas. Let you know, I'm thinking
still
of y'all.
Thinking it. Yep,
I miss y'all niggas. This the shit we went through for real. Like, and I always paint it so vivid to where my brother always tell niggas like, bro, that shit's real. Like, you hear this nigga talk about we was putting our quarters together to get something to eat and then splitting that shit down. Like, we was doing that shit. You know
like real life.
It was real life shit.
Like, I'm not gonna put it in here if it ain't real.
Oh no, I'm not rapping just to rap. I could do that shit all day, but you ain't gonna feel it.
I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you
like,
for that and appreciating and respecting the art form enough.
Even like Lemon Pepper Freestyle, I don't know if I'm jumping the gun, but like for me to start a song like mentally today, I'm a 7. Thanks for checking in. Like, you know what I'm saying? That was a real thing.
Mentally today, I'm a 7 over the top of that. Trying. Like, talk about that walking in on conversation flow.
That's all it is. It's like man, I never rapped
lately. I ain't been feeling like myself. Facts.
Bro,
like, come on,
that's
man.
all. It's the same flow. Every time I get a beat like that, that's so spacious. Even like
Drake should have gave it to you, G.
He should have.
Just been
really,
like, hey, G, you can have this.
He
one,
really
bro.
should have, man.
It would have fit on Alone in Blue Hour too.
I really.
Like, it would have been right in there. I
started to put it as an outro, like, but I was like, nah, I'm not gonna do that because I
play
for the long game.
I was about to watch Aubrey come through on your whole album.
But see, that's the thing. It's like, damn, do I want to take the chance and he hear it? You know what I'm saying? I want him to hear that shit and be like,
it's like you got to hear it to take it down.
Yeah,
or
like,
his
damn,
assistant does.
That shit's actually hard, you know. So
now look, we're getting into those singles, and I want to talk about the singles and the features. But before we do, the last couple questions I got about Alone in Blue Hour, it was pushed back a whole month.
Yeah.
What happened with that?
So Alone in Blue Hour,
Yeah, talk about the small artist story, man. I don't want to say small. I want to say grinding because I'm trying to get people to stop saying small artists because y'all ain't small.
Right. So basically, long story short, I had uploaded the project, and I had a song on there that I uploaded wrong. And I was like, well, let me just take it down and then re-upload it again, right? So when I re-uploaded it again...
Did they say you was trying to copy yourself or something?
Yes. And it was saying in order for you to make it go through, you have to basically change like the bit rate of the song. Because basically it was Wave Runner. Wave Runner already got sent to the store, but the other ones didn't. So basically they like, yeah, you took it off, but it's still registered. It got processed first.
So it still probably had a registered number.
Thank you. That's the issue. So the issue was when it didn't drop,
the song. I
didn't know until I went to go see what was happening.
You had to have changed something about it to make it a different. And that's the same thing that people do. So a lot of people may not know it, but that's what people do for their singles versus their album tracks.
You have to change the master
exactly,
away.
And that's what even happened with Middle Child by J. Cole. And how the master was changed was the tempo.
They just made it faster, 1 BPM. Exactly.
And J. Cole actually was like very adamant about it not being changed. And then he said when he heard it, he actually ended up picking the one tempo faster and said he liked it more.
Yeah.
But the single is 1 BPM slower.
Yep, that's facts.
And it has to be changed. And most people don't know that because it's like these songs are actually registered by what they sound like.
They are. And it goes through a whole thing and they read the waves. So basically what I did.
It took a month though?
So look, before it came out, I was getting so many DMs about people's like expectations from me.
I mean, there was hype. There was a lot of hype.
I've never had that much
project.
Hype for anything.
I was ready. I told you, I watched from literally when you put the yellow beanie on for Scared Love. Yes. Like I was watching as a fan right there, what's about to happen.
I appreciate it, and I think I don't want to say I fell into the hype, but because, like I said in the beginning, I didn't set out to make an EP. I was just piecing some songs together. It was like, did I tell the narrative better than I made the music? So I was like, what am I missing? And I was like, I feel like I started panicking. Like, I'm not gonna live up to this shit. So I was like, I have to write shit that's like
I need to actually make sure all of it lives up to the hype that somebody set for. That's crazy. I don't think I've ever heard somebody be so open and honest about the expectations because we see a lot of that on social media.
I ain't gonna lie, the hype was bigger than the music.
In this city, I don't know. I disagree with you there. But
I'm gonna tell you why. Well. It ended at the slowed and reverb version of Scared Love.
That was, next question. Were the bonuses added because of this?
I'm talking about the day that shit didn't drop.
So the only reason
I wrote Miss Me that night. I swear to God, bro.
I
came here.
Hold on.
Next day.
And that's what I was about to say. So you got
that's why I wrote on the project.
Portra 400.
Yes.
You're telling me if we dropped in June, we would have never got that track?
No.
And I'm happy then. I'm happy.
I'm happy. Because that's one of my favorite ones.
That song is so fucking poetic.
Bro, yes.
First of all, I read the track title list down and I was like, okay, he's talking about film.
Yeah.
And then now I'm like, okay, time back to Blue Hour. And that's why I was like, man,
that's what I had to. I was like, I have to.
The metaphor on the title
piece it together.
And the album.
I have to piece it together. I have to make it make sense. That it's like has to be little nuances for people who care about that shit. Even if you don't, it's not.
I'm one of those people. Thank you for the nuance.
But it's not gonna be so deep to where it's like, oh, you don't even know what he's talking about. You can still process the music, but it's like I'm putting shit in there. But if
you know about this film, this is like some high quality film from back in the day. Like this is something where it's like, wow, I heard a YouTuber because I watch a lot of film YouTube stuff, and I'm like, I heard them talking about that, and now Cassius got a song.
And
with that in the title,
I was looking up so many Blue Hour pages, Instagram pages.
You ended up getting lost in the research because you were like, I got to live up to the title.
That's how I started with taking pictures in Blue Hour because I liked how it looked. And I'm like, man, how can I get this look?
And that's what most people like Golden Hour over that.
Thank you. And everybody who did good Blue Hour pictures was shooting on Portrait 400. How I came up with the song, I been had the beat. It's just... It was a freestyle that I had. Ro really watched me in here. Freestyle. Only had the first verse, but not finished. The addition of
Ro on there too.
Bro, the nigga is gifted, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. I came in here, bro.
We just
I was right here out the booth, bro.
The coldest producers on the start and finish. The coldest producers in the city right now.
Oh my
on the
God.
start and finish of the project.
Man.
And to hear how it tied together like that.
Bro, yeah, man. I can't believe like the vocals he put on there. Like, I'm like, man, I feel like it just needs a hook. And I didn't feel like it at first, but my producer T-Bo was like, it needs a hook. You know what I'm saying?
I feel like Ro is bringing a different level of soul to the end of the...
It made it feel...
Because even this new project, I was like, what is this R&B neo soul that he can create?
He just did.
Yeah, and he brought it right over to this.
He brought it to my shit. My shit, it sounded like, I don't know, like the shit was just crazy. It was nothing I've ever done. You know what I'm saying? But that's another song where I use the I'm talking flow. You know what I'm saying? Let me talk to somebody. I don't want it to feel like I'm rapping so much. It's like, nigga, I'm just skating for real. Like even
and
how
that's the thing. I was like, I don't know who this girl is you talking about, but damn, you talking to it,
man,
like,
you know? I think it's another thing too. Like whenever I put out songs about women, I always get DMs, calls, texts. Is this about me? You know?
Really?
It's always hard to say no, but. When it's about the person that it's about, they don't ever have to question it.
I feel like
if you have to question it,
I feel like that's something I never thought of it. Gee, you really get texted about, hey, is
this about me? Yeah, and it's crazy. Like majority of the songs that Alone in Blue Hour is about, like sometimes people ask me, like, has the person heard it? And I was like, I don't know. I don't know. The person who I'm talking mainly about, like in ways that wasn't like beneficial to me, I don't know if they want to hear that shit.
Are they even ready to hear that?
Because they know how I be. So it's like. You know, shit, I know he gonna take it there. You know what I'm saying? Not necessarily saying like I'm like on that with them, but like here are certain things that like you don't ever want to hear back about what you did, you know, or like how it makes somebody
It's like
feel.
that has to make it resurface in some manner.
Exactly, because I might not say that shit for real, like to you in person. I might not let you know, but it's like, all right, I'm gonna take this shit somewhere, you know. And then within there, anybody else who ever bothered me, like if I got songs like Trouble, like okay, you fit in this, so I'm gonna talk about your stupid ass too.
Like,
you know
it's like it could be about a multitude. Damn,
it could be about whoever now.
Oh God, I can't believe you really get texted that say like, is this track about me?
Yeah, I do.
But then again, it's almost like I can see it.
Yeah.
Now, what I want to ask from that standpoint is, do you use music as the therapy of it all? Like, do you say things into the microphone that you would not have said to the people who get these text messages? Or is it like, I've already completely told you everything that you could have possibly heard in that song?
I feel like... I feel like Scared Love and Miss Me is like my recent prime examples. I've said all of those things. Like,
so it's one of the things where it's like I say it in real life, then I go.
Then I go in, but
I feel that.
But I don't think like I said it the ways that I said it. I think I kind of did. But I think also too the person said it for me. Like, okay, I know because I know you. I know that this was like this.
And I mean, especially for them to even go, is this about me? And it's like, if it is, then it's like, damn.
I know.
Like,
and sometimes
it's like, so you already know why it's about you.
Exactly. And sometimes like when I have songs that's like about people, where people think it's about them, and it's clear I'm saying specific things. Like if I'm telling somebody, if I put in a song like we had like sex in a Jeep Compass, like I said in Miss Me,
it's
like, and you drive a Prius,
it's like,
how is this about you?
It's
know
like,
what
don't
I'm saying?
text me.
It's not
you
about
don't even
you.
have this car.
You don't have the car.
You thought I changed your Prius to a...
No, you know what I'm saying? And it's like...
You thought I was going to front about your whip real quick?
It's like, I don't know, bro. that should be dumb to me. But I don't ever get like mad at people for asking. But I'll be like, man, okay, did you listen or you like the feeling? Because I have a lot of people always say,
did you listen or do you like this? Damn,
I wish this was about me. I get that shit a lot too. I wish somebody wrote that shit. Or like,
man, maybe I should have been a fucking rapper.
Man, shit's kind of fly. I ain't gonna lie. It's kind of fly.
Man, I'm over here doing podcasts. I don't get nobody asking, hey, is that podcast about me?
It's kind of fly, you know? But I think what I enjoy the most about rapping is just like making people feel something.
Yeah, it's that emotional aspect of it. Now, I want to kind of transition from where we are on the London Blue Hour and talk about more your features.
Yeah.
What is your approach the same there? Is the approach as far as like the therapeutic, let me get some shit out? If like you get a song and they talking about relationships and cheating, are you about to channel into one of those and talk about something real, or does it depend on what you are feeling in the moment?
It depends on the beat. Everything depends on beat and what the person ahead of me did. Like,
so you're not gonna come in and Kanye like you did with the Andre joint?
No. I think like what
completely different second half.
No, I think what I always try to do is like understand the intention of the song, not what they saying, but the intention of a song. If
like what are we trying to tell?
If your song is a single, I'm gonna take the songwriting approach of a single. If this shit is just on some like tucked in the album shit, you know, like what's the song that Solange got on? Like, I mean, that Solange and Lil Wayne, you know how they got that song?
Yeah,
and how Wayne was rapping it. I would like if you give me a song on that approach, I'm gonna give you that instead of like the song that Wayne had with Carrie Hilson.
Yeah, I was about to say I'm not gonna give you these radio ready quotable Instagram joints.
If that's not
what the
song is calling for,
leading into the rest of the album. We're still telling a story.
So it depends on what the song and the beat is saying first before my songwriting approach, because I always want to be a part of the biggest song, you know, because I like to perform. I like to, you know, do things that like a star would do, you know.
It's like I'm trying to do that shit.
I'm like intentionally doing this shit. You feel me? Like,
I mean, well, no,
I'm making the song. You
and
know,
that's what I'm saying.
What you want me to make
it's one of the things where that's the point of this. It's like the reason why we're doing it is to make it intriguing, to make something cool for you.
You didn't call me to be the guy who say this woke shit on the song. You know what I'm saying? I'm not doing that. I don't do that on my own.
And I feel that even on like a song like Lottie Dottie where you hopped on with Jamal, like where you had that fun with it, and then like you see the different when you hop on that like Blind. Like,
thank you. Exactly.
It's like the approach entirely different.
It's a totally different approach, but you never hear me rap on that shit like don't move too fast. Like I'm not gonna overly complicate.
I'm not about to come in and bar your shit down and give you my hardest 16.
I'm not gonna do that shit. I'm gonna make the shit like Drake on the Fetty Wap feature. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, just
like,
come in slight, give you something to remember, but I ain't take away from your whole thing.
I'm not finna. I'm adding to the song. I'm adding my vocal value. You know, like. But I'm like not trying to be like this is my song, or I'm not trying to ruin it, trying to be like overly complicated with the bars. Like that's why I think I refer to myself more as a songwriter than a rapper, because it's like my approach to making music is different than a lot of these niggas outside that not saying that they ain't good or they not good.
They're different lanes.
But
and
niggas who think that they make music like me on some like, oh, you got bars.
It needs to be broken down differently.
But it's different.
We don't
you know
genre rap correctly.
We don't.
I feel like in the last 5 years, there's been so many additional subgenres of rap added. And if you just ask me if I'm a rap fan, now I gotta break down for you. And I don't mind it, but we just need parameters at this point. Because it's like everybody can be a rapper, but not everybody is like a rapper in the same sense.
Exactly.
And I have a different definition from where I grew up, what I listened to as a shorty.
Yeah.
It's like all of those things form what you consider to be rap. And I feel like we damn near at this point need names for each one.
Exactly. It's like kind of like when you watch Juice WRLD on like radio interviews and you listen to a Juice WRLD song. It's fucking different.
Completely different.
It's the same way when I make music. I just choose to do what he does in freestyle sometimes in the music.
Yeah, well, I mean, also Juice WRLD did as well. Juice WRLD has those songs that you could tell us straight off the top, but still have that same energy, that good energy, that good vibe.
You know what I'm saying?
We talking about something right now real quick. I'm going to keep the same little storyline.
That's part of the brand. Like, I couldn't make Scoop and Don't Move Too Fast on the same project if niggas just thought I rap like Don't Move Too Fast all day.
Yeah, because then it's going to be too jolting.
Thank you.
Now, do you use features, and now I'm going to ask you more about like future features, but like, do you use these features as like opportunities to do like bigger things, I guess what I'm saying? Like, do you use it to be like, I'm going to do a feature with this person so that I could break into, you know, this side? Like, is that on your mind with the feature, or like, what's the whole breakdown of you taking a feature like now?
I think, well, if I take a feature, I'm going to answer, it's two different questions. Because, my approach to taking the features, it is definitely for gain. It's for gain because it's like, I believe in this person. I believe if we work together, we'll get somewhere further together than separate.
Using the collaboration.
Thank you. But I'm not using them necessarily because like I respect their music.
Yeah, so it's a feeding off of each other.
Yeah, exactly. It's like I'm more excited that you asked me, you know? And then when it comes to the pen, then it's like, okay, now I'm gonna make some shit to where it's like this. I want this person to be like, I could perform this at all times because obviously you like the song, but I don't want to do something that's like, I can't do this part. You know what I'm saying? Because he on this shit. I don't want to take him off.
It's like I can't quite do all of that now.
Exactly. And then for me to take a feature, it's like you have to take music serious. Like you can't just be on some shit like I know you and I just started rapping. I rap a little bit. I rap when I feel like it. Or I can get a feature from him. It's like I don't think people understand like, bro, I don't waste verses. Like
it's like if you gonna be on the track, it has to mean something.
The shit has to come out. I got features that haven't come out. I got songs that I wrote for people that haven't come out.
How angry does that make you?
Bro, that's just annoying. Like, but it's not on the level of like
sat down
getting
and put
kicked
my
off
whole
of Donda. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like Kanye does
getting
shit like
kicked
that.
off of Donda is completely different energy.
Them shits deserve to get kicked off of Donda. Anything I heard that didn't make it, I'm like, nah.
I was like, yeah, that Soldier could have been held off. Look, I like you, Draco.
Yeah, but that's kind of it
was skippable. If it was on there,
bro,
I wouldn't have ran it the same way.
It's a 2-pack of ass. I don't know. I ain't like it, bro. I thought he could have did better.
It's a 2-pack of ass.
And I feel like if Soldier, you know what I'm saying, he could do better. But as far as like taking features, that's like my approach. You know
Definitely.
what I'm saying? Like, bro, we gotta make some shit.
With that being said, though, what you got in the works? I saw some Jamal Abiade. I saw some Seasick posts, man.
Yeah.
What's in the works right now? Tell us about the 2021-2022 Cassius Tae vibe.
So me and Jamal, we always make good music. Like,
man, I know
shit.
whatever y'all got going about me. I saw some avocados.
Man,
I saw y'all looking goofy in the kitchen. I was like, man, Jamal does not disappoint when it comes to making something that'll make you smile the whole time.
Bro, like listening to his music. So I'm gonna just tell it. Fuck it. He about to drop a project. You know what I'm saying? It'll probably be out by the time this shit come out. And I got a single with him on a project. The shit is called Avocado Smoothie. It's just about like thick ass healthy girls or encouraging girls to get healthy. You know what I'm saying? But like it's like kind of a twerk song, but kind of not. You know what I'm saying?
When I was looking at the Instagram, I was like, this has big workout playing Kanye energy.
Yes. That's kind of like, you know, the vibe of it. And it's just some fun shit. It's just cool. It's like, you know, everybody on some healthy shit. That's another thing. Reading the room of the pandemic.
Everybody out here trying to do something healthy.
What is everybody else doing on the other end? Some fun shit.
But that's awesome because I mean, you're making something that's gonna hit that line. It's gonna strike a chord. You're like, I know somebody drinking whatever. I know somebody trying to do all this extra healthy stuff.
People sitting at the crib now. They trying to get their body right, or they was still in the pandemic, feeling like they gained weight. Let me get my body right, and it's like, I mean, shit. This is the most women I've seen like post themselves work out. You know,
for real
in my life,
and it's like capitalized. It's like
feel me?
I can use that. It's real life.
He sent me the song like. Shit, like I don't know. Sometime last year, he just had the hook, and I was like, "Damn, that's just fire." I didn't think he was gonna use it, but it's like the shit's still sticking. You know what I'm saying? I'm like niggas is still working out. You feel me? I was in the gym today. It was far more women than men. You know what I'm saying? It was like me and like
the
3 other guys.
The pandemic has switched the entire gym culture.
Yes, it has. So. That's basically what the shit's about. So, and then as far as like any other features,
what's going on other than that? Yeah, this is, and I mean, dude, we've been talking a lot about your duality in rap in this episode, and it's hilarious to even go from here to here. Like, what you doing on this C6 side?
Yeah, so
is it more avocado smoothie, or I'm assuming it's not?
Nah, this shit more like, you know, Drake, Rick Ross, Lord knows vibes. You know what I'm saying?
Damn.
So basically, my homie Rico, man, this nigga a raw ass rapper, bro.
Hey, that's what's up.
Yeah, he cold, bro. C6 is doing his whole project, and he had a couple artists from the city he wanted to get on the project. He wanted to work with, and man, he reached out.
Man, that's awesome.
And so, I laid my verse, and then C6 came in the studio when it was like a bunch of people in the studio, and everybody just hearing it. He heard it back. He like, damn, like you know what I'm saying? Everybody like fucking with it. So I'm like, yeah, we got to put it out.
How did that moment feel? How did that moment feel? Before we go any further, how did that moment feel?
I ain't gonna lie, like it felt good because.
Just to hear somebody come in a room full of niggas and hear yo bar,
you know what I'm saying?
And mention something on
and it's like not even just like, man, C6 give him the well, first of all, when any producer sends me a beat, I always send it to them because I just want to know, like, yo, did I do
you justice?
Thank you.
Before
you know what I'm saying?
Put this out,
did I do you
Respect
justice?
The music.
I just want to know, do you love it? So for me to get an initial in-person reaction, it's like, oh damn, like
it's like this yo beat. Exactly. You think I'm doing something? That means that the vision you had is I
executed it. And then people that Rico brought that I didn't know was fucking with it. And then it was a couple people in there that I did know that I respect as rappers. And if they fucking with it, it's like, okay,
I'm doing something right now. Goddamn.
It's just a good day.
Is that one of those affirming moments? One of those like, I'm in the right lane. I'm doing the right shit today.
I'll play it for you, you know what I'm saying, before I head out.
Hell yeah.
It's over a whole sample. The shit is crazy.
Man,
like,
hey, G, I gotta hear that one, man.
The beat is, man, I ain't gonna lie.
Hey, well, man, look, I'm excited to hear that one, and we about to get out of here anyway, man. So, look, before we get out of here, I gotta thank you for coming on the show, man. Thank you for just coming on and telling us about this music and just sharing us this process, man. I think that's the most crucial part about it, and I love being able to check in with artists and just see what's up with it.
I appreciate it. Before I go, I want to say, Alone the Blue Hours out. You see, we got the merch on.
Yes, man. I'm wearing
he got the Fears May Come merch.
This was the right before.
Exactly. So this is going to be another limited piece, and I'm going to have some other shit, you know, when it gets like a little bit more colder. I'm going to get this out quick. But yeah, like happy to be here, you know, more music coming. Also, Alone the Blue Hours really... Before I go, I really put this shit out because I was supposed to drop an album. Mm-hmm. The album is done. It's just...
Oh, shit.
I was just like... I feel like I could build more hype around my name. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, hey, I think Alone in Blue Hour achieved that goal, man.
So, to answer the question, I forgot to answer, like, what's next? What else is next for me? 2021, 2022, Cassius Tae. My album will be out. So...
Oh, man. Hey, we excited. We excited for that, man. Look, before we get out of here, what's the outro track we want to hit them with from Alone in Blue Hour?
Damn. Man, we could just do Wave Runner.
Oh, we gonna do Wave Runner. We're gonna start it from the beginning. Go ahead and listen to this track, and when you're done, just go ahead and run track 2 on Apple Music. We out of here, man. Thank you all for joining. Peace.
Talk to these niggas, man. Hey. Okay. Giving all that love when you fuck. Niggas getting dressed without the pump. Shit can get you hurt, my love. Sagittarius in my Venus. Careful how you really serve me up. Cold-hearted. Cold